this video, I want to talk to you about how some couples manage conflict so beautifully and respectfully and how some don't, and what that can do for your relationship. So let me rewind a bit. Before I'd gone into this world of personal development and radical self-responsibility, my husband and I were in a cycle of constant fighting, making up, fighting, making up. And it was like we were getting this roller coaster of dopamine hit, and then we'd have incredible makeup. You know what I mean, right? And the problem with that is it's exhausting. And it relies on you to have conflict in order to grow. And that can be really exhausting. I don't know whether, I'm sure many of you can relate to this endless cycle of proving you're right and getting them to understand your point of view, and you not wanting to hear their point of view first because you have to get your point of view right first. This is a really unhealthy way to resolve conflict. The reason there is conflict in a relationship is because you are two different individuals with different makeups, different upbringing, different everything. And you're brought together and expected to agree with everything? No. And I went through a phase of, when I first got into polarity work and masculine, feminine, I've gone through a phase of denying my truth in service of him. And I swung the other way, completely inauthentic. And then I built up resentment. I was like, no, I don't believe that's true for me. Why am I saying it is? And then I would resent him when actually he wasn't asking me to believe that. But I didn't have the skills on how to articulate my point of view in a non-conflict way. Because my coding was, I was raised in a place, in a family where yelling was the norm, fighting was the norm. The only way you got your point of view across was if you shouted. And it was the same for my husband. So being raised that way meant that we hadn't had role models of how not to do conflict, how to resolve, how to create a new pathway, a new beautiful way of managing differences and respecting differences more than managing it. And so this is why sometimes some couples unconsciously get into a pattern of, I need to poke the bear to get his attention, and so I'll have a fight with him, or he might tease to get attention. So the first piece is, are you craving attention from each other? What is the real root cause? And if that's so, having a conversation about how you can get each other's needs supported, because there's so much more before the conflict. So that's the first piece. The second piece is, I often find that I get into a conflict situation when I've not taken care of my bodily needs, aka I'm either tired or hungry. So I now avoid having conversations at bedtime, like pillow talk, conflict, my airing my opinion, if I'm not in a place where I can do it with respect and honor and love, right? So that's the first piece. The third piece is, I am often in a place of, sorry, I got a bit of an interruption there, lost my train of thought. I'm often in a place where I have to make sure that I am really sure on what it is I need. And that takes some time, because sometimes it's this inner child that comes out that says, well, I want this and I want that. And it's that voice. And actually the truth is, what does the woman want? The woman wants to feel loved. The woman wants to be loved. The woman wants deep connection. Is the woman giving deep connection to herself first? And as a man, are you respecting yourself? Are you honoring your word? Are you doing the things that you desire in yourself, for yourself first, or are you being a pleaser? And so before we even get to the conflict, this is the work. So then when we get to the conflict situation, it isn't actually a conflict situation, because I can fully express what I desire without blaming him. So, for example, I love to have the car door open for me. I love it. And it's not something that he necessarily desires. So there's a difference of opinion here. But I was able to say to him, babe, in a beautiful way, I love when you open the door for me. I desire that so much. It makes me feel so taken care of by you. And I also understand if that's not something that you feel you can do every time, how can we make this magical? Help me understand your perspective on it. You see, I was expressing what I needed, how it made me feel, and also acknowledging that that might not be his point of view, and I'm open to learning his point of view. Now, another situation might be we went out for dinner the other day, and he told a story, and it was an old story, an old paradigm of where I wasn't so good with him. I was a bit of a bitch, but he kind of told it in a way that basically ran the bus over me. Now, I didn't say anything in that moment because I was curious to learn his perspective. But because I was taken care of, I had my needs met, I wasn't hungry, I wasn't tired, I was in a place of love and respect. I was open to hearing his opinion without feeling triggered or defensive. And so, as a result of that, what actually happened was I didn't need to say anything in that moment. I came away from that conversation. I reflected on it. I was like, interesting. So, what is it I need in this moment? Do I need him to apologize? No. What I need from him is to understand how storytelling can be told in so many different ways, and it's not necessary to make anybody wrong in order to feel right. And to point out to him that actually the way he told that story was running me under the bus. And while I understand his point of view and it was absolutely valid and true, and the story was factual, there could have been a different way of doing it without making anybody wrong or right. And I simply said it like that, really honest. And he said, I've never thought about it like that before. I'm going to put that in my think tank. Thank you. Now, the tonality I used was this. It wasn't, you ran me under the bus and how dare you speak about me like that. And yeah, it was right, but that was such an old version of me. That would have created defensiveness in him. So tonality really matters. Intention really matters. What is your intention? My intention, I had to figure it out first. My intention was to provide an opportunity for him to tell a story in a different way and to be aware that he may not have even had that available to him. So it was a great learning opportunity for us all. I got to learn his point of view. He got to learn how that may have impacted me and that there was another way to tell a story. There was actually no conflict, just beautiful, respectful conversation. And the impact that has on our marriage means that we don't embed another argument, another story. You did this and you did that. Remember that time when we went out for dinner and you said it like that and you've done it again? No, there was no telling off frequency. It was purely respectful. I took responsibility of what I needed, not you did this and you have to do that. See the difference? Let me know how you get on with this. Let me know if this information is landing deeply for you. Along with my conversations, there will be a feeling that you will feel. And that is what I call the frequency match, the undertones. It's more than the words. We go beyond the words. I drop codes with you that will land in your heart and your soul. Let me know if you're feeling them. And if you are, please share this. Please share this video with all your friends and family because it's likely they need it and they're a frequency match. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe because my mission on this planet is to raise love consciousness across the globe so that divorce, war, and disease becomes obsolete. Imagine every decision made through the lens of love. There doesn't have to be anybody right or wrong in conflict. There doesn't have to be conflict at all. We can respect and honor each other's opinions and differences. and articulate them in a beautiful way where we all feel heard and seen through the lens of love. I love you so much. Take care. Until next time, hit the subscribe. See you soon.